All right. Hey, welcome everybody to CBSI Presents Tales from the Flipside, episode number 89. My name is Paul. We're a little late tonight because we were goofing off behind scenes, but thanks for sticking around and waiting for us. Check out comicbookinvest.com for all of your comic needs. Got some continuing giveaways all the time. Links to amazing shows. Got Brian Wood doing his thing on the hot and cold comic book list. Simple Man's Comics with our man, Mr. Bolo. And they have their other show, Last Call, that is also just chock full of information. So check us out. And we're here to entertain you. Boys, introduce yourselves.
What's up, guys? Brian McClay here. I got a new pickup that you might be hearing crying here in a little bit, so I'll introduce her later.
Everybody's got kids
She's
crying
in the dungeon downstairs.
Well, Paul has people crying every day, so it's fine.
That's true. Strangers in the street everywhere.
John Z back after a brief hiatus, been getting my butt kicked at work, so glad to be back and talking some comics.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, and it's Ben S. and I'm just going all dark today. Everything's dark.
I like that orange border, though.
I just realized my camera's my light's real dark today too. So we'll call it the dark episode.
Yeah.
But that kind of fits my mood for right now anyway. So if I go off on a tangent about Avengers or something like that, then you're gonna know it's bad.
Oh no.
Oh boy. So, did you guys have any pickups this week?
I think I have the most, so maybe I should go last.
I can go. I got a smattering of crazy as always, and I didn't give Brian time to do fun screenshots and stuff, so we're gonna have to do old school. These are from actually maybe a few weeks ago, and I didn't get a chance to show them off. I was at Half Price Books again, attempting to start the flip challenge, and I have been sucking, and I can't find anything in life, so I don't have anything. But I did find Fear Agent number 4 and number 5 double signed by both Moore and Opana. So I picked those up for a couple bucks a pop.
Wow, that's
reread
cool.
that series.
So, I'm pretty sure they were pretty much every issue through 20 signed, minus 1, 2, and 3. So I just picked a couple covers I liked and went with it. I didn't want to buy the entire run.
You should have, man. That's a good run to have.
Well, I know, but they had. I already bought the hardcovers.
I mean, to hold to flip, not for the challenge, but down the road.
Oh, I know. I didn't. It wasn't all of them. It was bits and pieces. You know what I mean? Like there was 4, 5, 8, 12.
Yeah, that's true.
And somewhere in the 20s it stopped and they weren't autographed anymore. But somebody beat me to the 1, 2, and 3. So I liked 4 and 5. I thought 5 just kind of showing off as a good cover. Just
Yeah,
very,
great.
yeah, a good one. So we went with that. That's killing me. Keeping with my usual, I got a couple of crime pickups. This one was just in a lot, so it wasn't really one I was going for. Real Clue crime stories. I don't even know what number this one is. It was just kind of a throw-in. Nothing particularly exciting on this cover. Just a crime book that we'll throw in the pile for later. I was actually buying this one, which is from a run that I really, really like. The Perfect Crime. I've shown off number 31 a bunch of times. This is number 28, and it's a prison scene where the guy's using a straight razor, a very large straight razor, to take out. I don't think it's the guard, but somebody, maybe the warden. Yeah. So the imagery on it, the coloring kind of got me. Thought it was a good one. And this series, I just really, really like the run, so I'm going to keep kind of picking them up when I can find them cheap.
That's probably not something that they should have in stock at a prison.
No. And if you look, the handle is about half the size of the blade on this one, so I don't know what it is. It's really not a good decision, but this is the kind of imagery, if you're going to buy crime, that you want to get. You want the stuff that's pushing horror, but not. So That's in my opinion one that's a good little grab. It's fairly low grade, but we like it, so it presents well. Should have learned from Spider-Man 2099 on these, but there's been a lot of Star Wars chatter.
Oh, that's dope.
So I grabbed one of the toy packs with the Heir to the Empire 1 in it, hoping for a 9.8 because I did finally see one posted, which they're asking a huge number for of I think $900. But
hard to come by those comic packs.
Yeah, I've been watching. They pop up. They're going to cost you at least $50 a pop. This one is not a 9.8 candidate. It's got a rough corner, and so many of these. You can't probably see it, but the book basically bends this whole thing because it's been standing up straight for so long. And I don't know if it can be pressed or not. I probably need to talk to the boss man, Sean, but just from my experiences of 2099s, the white ones, the Spider-Mans, when they get such a bend on them, they're real hard to get back to normal. There's just a lot to overcome. So I'm probably going to...
Are you going to store it flat to try and pre-press it with gravity?
I don't know. I'm honestly probably going to leave this one in the package, just throw it to the side and resell it as the package because I don't feel good enough that it's going to get a 9.6, 9.8 and save it for more of the toy guys at that point. Once you take it out, it's a comic guy thing. When it's in here, it's a dual market. So
Right.
I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, this issue has 3 editions. There's the direct, there's a newsstand, and there's this one without any price or any barcode. So
I was just about to ask because I got a newsstand of that's got a 9.8 shot that I was going to actually send in this week, and I was trying to see what the difference was on that one.
Yeah, definitely. If you can score some newsstands, go for it. I saw 9.6 posted for 150. That was tempting. So, the direct edition's got a lot. The newsstand definitely less. This one, I don't know if newsstand or this is least, but this one's going to be a hell of a lot harder to find in high grade. So, either way, I think it's probably the first toy versions. So we'll take that too. So. If you don't think it's a 9.8, leave it in the package and sell it again to somebody else. One last book. I bought many of these and continue to do so, but I bought a Tick #1, the first print, the black or blue edition people call it. I think it's black. Is a CBCS 9.6, but it has a big old shatter crack here in the bottom corner. So I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely see it.
Yeah. Guy wanted 200. I just sent him an offer randomly one night for 125 shipped, and I'm like, he accepted at that price. I'll gamble and see if maybe I can press and regrade and shoot for the elusive CGC 9.8. Where last I looked, there were 4. Maybe there's 5 now. And it is a huge jump. A 9.6 will sell for 100, 200, maybe $250. You get a 9.8, that thing's pushing 2K. So,
yikes!
Do you think that one? Do you think that could get a 9.8? Do you think like their grader notes? Have you looked?
I don't think so. I think it's got too soft of a corner. But either way, I'll regrade the CGC and probably get double what I paid. It definitely has one soft corner on it that I don't think I'll get lucky on. But again, sometimes it's worth the gamble. Even just to get it out of this case is going to add some value. It's got scratches on all over. It's got a giant, break. Not to mention, it's not the prettiest case. So at that point, that price, you can't find this book in near mint anywhere. It's just tough. It's oversized. It's not quite magazine size, but it's bigger than Golden Age. It's just one of those weird books that you don't want to. You can't find it in the wild, so I'll buy it and go for it. So
very cool. Yeah, I need to
Chris said it's a reprint of the original #1. This is considered #1. The first appearance in a comic was the special edition #1, the white cover. And then there's at least 10 other printings of it with different backgrounds. There's the red, the orange, the bubble, I think you get to the 10th print, it's white again. So lots of reprints of the Tick #1.
Yeah, that's a good book.
In my head, I was going to attempt to do try and get 9/8 in all of them, and I realized you can't get 9/8 in even the ones you think you should. So gave up on that quest.
Yeah. Well, I know that you're a Tick fan, so I try to steal every Tick book from you. I got a horde of them sitting in the back room. You just don't know it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that black cover 9/8 is impossible.
Ben, you got any pickups?
I got two. And I just want to give a big thank you to Joe Pop for picking these up for me at NYCC, because they will just go into my Art Germ box. But it's the Pray for Sinner, the
Wow.
NYCC variants.
Oh, those are nice.
That color variant's beautiful. The
Yeah,
color.
the black and white one here is numbered out of 200, and the color one's numbered out of 100.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I just found out, though, that there's actually a refractor version of it that's numbered out of 20 that was a New York Comic Con. And then there's what was the con last weekend? LA Comic Con, I think. And it's a foil numbered out of 100. But yeah, I agree that color one's pretty good looking. But and they were shipped perfect. And like I said, thanks, Joe, for picking those up for me.
Very cool. Paul, I saw you talking to Chris in the chat, and he had a comment up above that he was talking about this black and white Ninja Turtle set at Walmart. Do you know anything about this? Because this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, so it was a little. They're little figures. And correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. I think we're both thinking about the same thing. But they're like little figures. I don't think they had much posability, but I didn't know this, but apparently they came with a #1 reprint.
Yeah, is it special? Does it have?
Let's see. No, I don't. I think it's just an incentive kind of thing.
Yeah, is the black and white Ninja Turtles action figure set that came out last summer at Walmart.
Yeah, and then I was telling him that I picked up. I don't know where it is. It might be right over here. Well, forget it. It picked up. It has I think it's a reprint of 1 through 5 that came out in like the original size, the magazine size that came out this year. I picked up. So I didn't. I knew about the toys, but I didn't know that it came with a #1 reprint. That's kind of cool.
Well,
is it full size, Chris? Is it magazine size? Let us know.
Yeah, it sounds like something cool. I mean, I wonder if they're the style of the book or the style of the original action figures.
The figures themselves?
Yeah,
I think they're just little tiny. Let me see.
Well, I'll go through mine real quick and my pickups, because it'll be short, and then when you're going through your comic stuff, we can do some research, and when you're going through your comic haul.
All right.
So, all right. So, I got a PC book. Well, I don't know if it's PC book, but it was kind of weird because when I got it in the mail, it was in my mailbox just like this. It wasn't even closed or anything. And you can tell they might have tried to close it just didn't stick. But then when I opened up the inner package, that wasn't closed either. And if you guys could see, none of that was taped.
Whoa.
But the worst part about all this, I mean, the book seems to be in good condition, but it's a major seller, and I can't remember where I got it, but it came with in between two nice. Oh, here we go. Let's see here. This is from Torpedo Comics, and it's the Transformers Galaxies Constructicon cover, special Constructicon cover. That's pretty cool. I always liked that Transformers set when I was growing up.
Is that an incentive or an exclusive?
It's an exclusive, I believe.
So was it damaged or not damaged?
No, the book luckily wasn't damaged. As far as I can tell, it's okay. I got lucky, but still, it was.
So
just
they didn't tape it down.
Yeah, they didn't tape anything. It was like they set it aside to be taped, maybe in their process, and the person just forgot to tape it. So it's a Torpedoes comic exclusive variant, the unsigned version. So I paid $20 for it. So, but so that was kind of just almost like a semi PC pickup. We'll see if it gathers any steam later on. I know Ultra Maximus has talked about Transformer craziness before, and some of those books can just go through the roof. But I got the last of my Flipside challenge money is spent.
God, you guys are killing me. I'm failing just on failure to launch.
And you guys remember these fun things? The Todd McFarlane Facts and Illusions comic set that came with a VHS set that came with a VHS of Todd McFarlane talking about stuff back then, and first issue of Spawn. But what everybody else loves about it is it's got the Crusade Comics Spawn.
Yeah.
Crusade Comics. It's kind of like almost like a, I don't know, what would you guys call it? A previews.
Yeah, it's a mini comic. I actually just sold the 9.8 of that Crusade. It just doesn't sell.
Yeah. So there it is right there. And it's kind of a lot of Spawn collectors consider this one of like the first books that he showed up in, early appearance type deal. So for a while there, this was a really sought out book, mini. Well, I got 4 of them.
Nice.
And I got them for under $10 a piece. So.
Oh, that's a good deal then.
Yeah. So I'll be flipping those. Hopefully, we'll see. I mean, you kind of scared me for a second there when you said it doesn't sell well.
What was your?
I don't know. I bought a 9.8 thinking it would gain ground in the last year or two. I think the movie died. It's just kind of one of those.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a weird book. I like it sealed better than I almost like the 9.8. At 9.8 mini comics, like in a slab, just look weird, and I think it throws your buyers.
Well, I'm definitely going to pull them out because the packaging on those things, it's so old that they're kind of falling apart, the packaging.
You might almost experiment, man. List some open, some not. Like one of those was bent to shit. Take that one out. But the ones that look nice, you might get a premium for them.
Yeah.
Did you find them on one of the other apps that you've been talking about using in the past?
No, this one I actually found on eBay. A guy had them on eBay, and I always, I'm giving away some of my free cornbread here. This is one of my saved searches. I always look for this and the. He did another one, which is it's called Lotus. Todd McFarlane creates Lotus. And every once in a while, they'll pop up. I mean, there's some on there for just ridiculous prices. I mean, like 80, 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks. But every once in a while, you'll find them on there for cheap. And I made an offer to the guy. He had them on there for 50. And I made an offer to the guy for much less than that. And he accepted. So
you never know what people will take sometimes.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt to just shoot it out.
Yeah. And
Brian, Brian, before you go on, I think you need to explain to Paul he's not old enough to know what a VHS is.
What's funny about that is this weekend, my buddy was showing us old VHS tapes of. We had a local show. You guys remember, like the Bozo the Clown show?
Yeah.
So we had a local show like that here in the valley called Wallace and Ladmo. And when we were kids, everybody wanted to go on that show, and we all, like, if you were in Boy or Cub Scouts, you got to go on the show. So we all were in Cub Scouts growing up, and my buddy busted out an old tape, a VHS tape from like 86 or 87, and all of us are little kids on this Wallace and Ladmo show. So I thought it was pretty interesting.
That's pretty cool.
But here is my ultimate pickup. Let me grab her here.
Russian bride arrived.
So this right here is Josie. And
oh man, she's a cutie.
She's a 7-week-old English pointer puppy, and she's pissed off because I'm taking her away from her napping. But
So she can be up all night.
It's
yeah, exactly.
Brian. It's cats. Cats are what give views, not dogs. Cats.
Where's Dino? Somebody get him.
I know, right? So
All dogs do is they bark and interrupt us.
yeah.
Trust me, mine does somewhere.
So she's getting used to the place. My other dog is kind of jealous, but she's a cutie pie, so she'll you guys will probably be hearing her in the background in upcoming shows. So don't pay no mind.
What's the story? What made you get her and all
Well,
that good stuff?
she was a friend of my mom's who is a breeder. Had a litter coming, and so I just said, hey, if the runt's a female, I want it. I like runts, especially with pointers because they're smaller. They call them pocket pointers, so I'll try and keep the yeah. So I'll
Beavis
try.
and Butthead here with that laugh. Sorry.
I'll try. I try to keep them small if I can, and she'll start bird dog training here shortly, and she'll be another hunting dog that I won't do much hunting with, but she'll at least know the drills. And I basically got her because for two reasons. One of them being really selfish.
Zombie apocalypse. You want to be able to hunt?
Yeah. The one, my dog's getting older, so I figured I was hoping that they would get along really well, and it would be kind of like, a buddy for her, for the last couple of years of her life. And then the other reason is just because I'm so attached to my other dog. She's like my kid that when I put her down, I think it's better to have another dog around to kind of, not make you feel as shitty. So.
No, I feel you, man, and it'll help your might give some years to your older dog too.
Yes.
Once she gets used to her up and around with a puppy, it's, oh god, I gotta get up and play now and all that crap.
Yeah. So, but this is Josie. So that's my weekend.
Awesome.
So, but yeah. So, all right, let's let the fun begin.
Yeah, so let me share my screen first. Okay. So I found that Walmart exclusive, and so it is the little pack I was thinking of. They do have a little more articulation than I thought they did. Chris was saying they're the same size as the '90s figures. So I'd seen them before, and I just didn't pay enough attention to the background or the packaging. But they come with a reprint of #1, but it's a different cover. Penciled or penned, whatever, by Eastman. So it's an Eastman.
I've seen that cover. I didn't know what it was.
Variant. So I might have to go pick one of those up now.
Oh, that's cool.
But cool. So I'll check that out. But so let's make sure I don't close the wrong stuff. Oh, we lost Z.
Oh, you just kicked me out.
Closing my tab kicked you out. So I have a bunch of pickups. So a few shows ago, I finally got a package back that the F5 crew helped me submit way back last year's Baltimore Comic-Con. I had a bunch of books I was going to sub on site, and they were like, well, why don't you wait and we'll help you out kind of thing. So I waited, and they they sent it in with a batch of their books, and so I got it back a few shows ago. I said I was going to make a haul video, and I never did. So I figured tonight I'll just show them off due to my laziness. But first, I wanted to show, and I don't know if I should take them out of the bag or not. In your experience, does it show better without the bag on?
Yes,
probably.
Yeah, usually.
All right. So we're gonna have a big pile of. Oh, and jumping around. Here's the turtle set I was talking about, the 35 years, Chris.
Oh.
The let's see, it has the first 4 issues and then and the Raphael micro series. So they're all in their magazine size.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I grabbed one of those. So that'd be cool to get those in 9/8 since the covers are the same. But anyway, sticking with turtles, of course, following up last week's 9/6. I'm getting okay with 9/6s, just because, the price difference is big for reselling, but for PC books, I'm all right.
Well, I think
so,
you're dealing more copper than modern, so
yeah, so I'm all right. So this one's from '89. It's TMNT number 7, the second print wraparound cover in a 9.6, and
That
so I
looks
got that
good.
for a good price. Yeah, so it's not bad. And
We kind of talked about this before. I thought that might be the first appearance of Krang, and
I
Paul
looked.
looked it up.
Yeah, I looked it up, and it's not. I think it's just when they introduced the Umtrons.
Okay.
Is that one?
What
But
is the first appearance of Krang? What was it?
it was
the animated.
TMNT The Adventures number 1 of the miniseries.
So the animated miniseries, the first comic that came out with the animated version.
That's Harvey, right? No,
Hmm?
Archie Comics, right?
I think so. Yeah, it's actually the first appearance of Krang, and then
Is it
Bebop
Bebop
and
too?
Rocksteady too. Yeah,
That's a good book.
yeah, definitely. So on to
Well,
the
that 7-second print though is a sneaky seller. It does sell well on the right day.
yeah there's I looked them up for the other books that I subbed with F5, but there's 24 9.6s of that of that second print out there, but I just looked them all up so I could talk about what I got. So on to what F5 has for me. I'm kind of dual screening it here, but
Feel free to talk crap about them because neither of them showed up today.
yeah, I know. Yeah, they did me a solid. So the first book is I had like a string of I was chasing like the Joker mashup covers where it wasn't Joker, it was him as other characters. So this is Adventures of Superman 14, the first print in 9.8.
Man, that was a hot book for a couple weeks.
Yeah, that was actually my first spec that was actually good back on the G Plus days. So let's see the first print. So there's 27 9.8s of this in existence. So not too bad. I think the back is where you catch a lot of the defects for this book. But
Man, that was a good show for a minute.
so yeah, my dad watched it. But
apparently I'm old.
So I also picked up. I also submitted rather. Along with that, the second print, and that came back a 9.8 as well. So I one of those two together. So I like the black and white.
I totally forgot there was a second print to that.
I don't even think I remembered.
There are only 4 9.8s of this, so I got one of those, which is cool.
You were ahead of the curve, Paul.
Yeah, for once. And I don't know who.
Well, his curve started a year ago, so.
Speaking of old shows or recent shows or whatever, Gotham's on the back for all our Gotham fans. And so there are 4 9.8s of that one. And let's see what. So continuing on with the Joker theme, I showed this one off on that show a few weeks ago, but it's Catwoman 65 9.8 Joker.
Oh yeah.
So I'll put on the Flipside IG. I think maybe a big collage of all the Joker covers I have, and I think I have all the ones that I want now, if I believe. So there's 2 9.8s to this. What'd you say?
There's so many. I at one point was trying to collect as many Joker's covers as possible, and there is just too many.
Well,
he's doing Jokerized.
like Jokerized is what I mean. So
okay.
I think there's a Wonder Woman that I might have. So there are 2 9.8s of that.
Some of those have the DCU logo because I know that Wonder Woman has a DCU variant.
Yeah,
I'm not. Yeah, I'm just gonna get what I can. I'm not gonna go that crazy as long as they're in the CGC.
Yeah, there's that Superman one too, where he's got his back turned or whatever, and he's looking back, and it's the Joker.
Yeah. I think I have that one too. Keep an eye on our IG, and I'll post it out there. But so there are 2 9.8s of that Catwoman, and then I got a Batgirl 16.
Oh, very
9.8. Yeah. So sorry for the glare. So there are 20 of these out there.
I'm surprised that many people graded that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a great idea to collect the Jokerized covers. That's a great little niche collectible.
I can't remember which one caught my eye, but Joe in the chat's asking to start that. I mean, Joe's asking, did I pick up the 1 per store Joker? Is that the one that came out this week?
Yeah,
I was thinking about that too, wondering how that one's doing. I hadn't followed it.
No, I haven't gotten that one yet, Joe. So winding down ish. So I kind of got into this is kind of an more oddity, I guess, but my wife really likes pinups, and then specifically Betty Page. So of the Betty Page comics, I really love this cover. It's Betty Page number 6.
Oh wow!
Betty Page Satana, basically.
Is that a Bowman? Who did that?
That looks like Linsner.
Linsner?
Let's see. You're talking about Linsner. Yep, you're right. So that's a Dynamite Entertainment.
10 points for Ben.
Yeah, right. So that's a variant E. And there are 2 9/8 of this in existence.
It's also a Virgin cover, which is one of your things.
Yeah. So there are 2 9/8 of that, and I have both.
Oh.
So that was cool. That's why I looked some of these up. Is I wanted to see what I got. So that was cool that I had both of them. I didn't know if they would both be 9/8 or not. And talking to Sean and those guys back then, and they appreciate my thousands of questions. I just said, send them both in and I'll roll the dice. So that was a cool one. And then
that Betty Page, though, she's got some crossover appeal because of some of the early ones in the 80s were Stevens covers.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there are others out there. Just looking through the ones that were available at the time, that one, the Zatanna aspect, and that one really caught my eye. And then I delved into Shadow Year 1, and I think it's just the old style of this cover. So this is a Comics Pro edition. It says sketch cover. So it's Shadow Year 1, number 1. That's a 9/8 as well, and there are 2 9/8 of this in existence. I have one of those.
I've never seen that one before.
Neither have I. Yeah.
That one's frightening to me.
What?
It's frightening.
Frightening? I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
It does remind me of that old movie, 30s movie thing.
Yeah, so I just like the look of it. The older era kind of caught my eye, and I was kind of looking for books that my wife might let me hang up and put one in the bedroom with those comic holders kind of thing. So
that's what you're putting in the bedroom. Oh shit.
Maybe. I get my one space. So
I would put more Betty Page up myself.
I gotta go with I don't know. We'll see. I gotta get what I can, So the next one is another Shadow Year 1, and this one kind of started my Shadow I don't know, got me into it. So it came with a COA. So this one was from it's a Dynamite Entertainment. It's a Alex Ross Virgin. And so this one's limited to 100 copies, and it's a number 1 9/8.
Oh wow!
Virgin as well, and so there are 2 9/8 of that, according to CGC.
Who did that? Who did that cover? Paul
Ross, he said.
Ross.
Alex Ross. Wow.
Ross has done he's done a bunch of those Shadow covers.
Yeah, he did. Someone's saying WTF to the bedroom. Like just some art. I like the Virgin cover, just some art in the bedroom. Right now I have right now I have a Wonder Woman cover where she's kissing her love interest and stuff. So I don't know, just kind of trying to bring the hobby outside of just the office walls kind of thing. But so there are 2 of those Shadow Year 1s in existence, 9/8, and I have both of those as well.
Jesus.
So limited to 100, and so I grabbed both those. It's kind of cool. And then winding down, I got 2 more left. Switching back to Turtles. This is kind of on the lines with the VA Comic Con Virgin variant. I wanted to stick with like Turtle Christmas covers. I was really getting into those. So I submitted this, and it's the IDW number 65. It's they're at a toy store, so like the guys are looking in.
Oh, that's cool.
That's too much. So guys are looking into the store, and so there are 2 9/8 of this in existence, and I have one of those. So that was really cool to get back.
Failure, you only got one?
Yeah, I thought I had both. I looked at the box twice, so I don't know. Someone else is someone else is out there. And then the last book, and I was really surprised. There are actually 6 9/8 of this one out there, and this is the IDW number 5, the RI cover. And
that's cool, man, that's cool.
Yeah, so this one I really like. It's another Christmas winter cover, and so I was really happy to get that one back in a 9.8.
What issue number is that?
It's number 5 RI, and so I actually subbed 2, and I got 2 back in 9.8 as well. So that made me really happy.
That's a great order, man.
Yeah, no, they were all 9.8s. It was awesome, and I didn't know what to expect. I told Scott, don't tell me the grades, and I'll just leave it as a surprise. There is a Global Conquest edition of this as well that goes for a decent amount too. So it's just a different border, but yeah, I really liked those, so I was happy to pick those up. And that's it. So that's my my haul video that never happened.
In comics, is there really much better than getting that CGC order back?
No, and I don't do it very often at all. So that was a nice big order, and those guys really helped me out. So Forgotten 5 Comics, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I know how many questions you ask when you grade. So
yeah, that was the younger me too. I asked a lot more.
The hardest part is not looking at the grades before they show up. If and you did it right where they couldn't send you the email telling you the grades because you went through F5 and that you told them to keep them from you. But it's
I can't do it, man. I have to look.
I'm saying, man, I'm constantly checking the site to see if they went through, and
it was refresh 75 times a day.
2 weeks ago, it was killing me. I was if they hadn't shown up just that day, there's no way I was waiting a week to open them.
Yeah, especially that big of an order too. How many books?
CGC always takes a little longer because that registered mail to get to you too.
Well, this actually went to Scott, and then Scott sent it to me, so it was even longer. But I mean, look how long I waited to even show him off. So I was just happy to have him back. I waited so long that it was worth a little longer. So
well, I'm pretty excited. I have a group of books that I sent to Sean out of my buddy Chuck's collection that should be awesome. Sean sent me the good news the other day that it should be showing up at the house.
The old books, some of the Golden Age stuff.
Yeah, this is the first 10 of the Silver Age and Golden Age stuff that we're starting to send in. So that will be
selling or keeping. I don't remember where he landed.
What's that?
Selling or keeping?
He decided to keep them all, man, which I really am happy about, because it's just, you don't walk into something, or not walk in, you don't have a collection like that show up too often. And he wasn't a comic guy, and this brought him to really fall in love with comics, and now he's out there chasing a lot of the books that we chase. So I told him every time I see him, I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's another rabbit hole, man. We got you down another rabbit hole. But he loves it. So
did you sneak in the Punch 12 into that one?
No. I think I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I need to talk to Sean.
I mean, it can't hurt to grade it, right?
Man, just send it straight in.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not even gonna play with pressing it or nothing. And that's what my buddy's gonna do with some of the books he's got in his set. They're just. I mean, the Silver Age stuff he'll grade, but not some of the Golden Age stuff. I think he, like you guys are saying, he'd be better with not pressing anything and just sending them in.
Now,
Golden Age is risky. You gotta have a real good presser, and it's gotta be just the right stuff. And it's usually a light press. I mean, don't send Golden Age somebody doesn't know what they're doing.
That's what I was going to ask: is why not press it? Just because the
paper's fragile and they're thick,
and you don't want to detach the centerfold accidentally.
Well, the punch book is, if you guys remember, it's like I'm still kind of iffy on whether the cover is going to stay attached or not. So
yeah. I'm not even sure you grade it, honestly. I mean, if you're not selling it.
Oh man, I'd have to
grade it for preservation.
I have to grade it, yeah, preservation. Yeah,
I don't. Oh. If you're so worried about the cover, man, I almost worried that the CGC pops it.
Yeah, but if they're going to pop it, then it's going to pop just moving in a box. I mean, you're never going to look at it.
I mean, you'd have to frame it. If you're gonna I'd say if you're not gonna
Are
grade
you
it,
gonna just? I don't even display books like that in my mind. I don't. I don't. Those sit in a box. I'll look at them when I want to look at them. I am not putting a
ouch, Joe.
fucking 10K book on my wall.
Yeah, Joe said he pressed an AF-15 and the cover separated.
Exactly.
Well, I remember that.
But they pressed it. I think CGC pressed it.
Yeah, did CGC press it, Joe? I think that's what it was, Paul.
Wasn't that one missing a piece though, Doctor? Wasn't it missing something?
Here's my typo.
Had a piece out.
Was missing a part of the cover or something. Yeah,
Missing something. I remember.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. I wonder what'd you end up doing with the book, Joe? Did you end up keeping it?
Sold it, or he had it for sale. I don't know if it sold. I remember. I thought about it.
It was a group sale with the AF-15 and some gold teeth, I think. That was a lot.
Oh man, that would be a nice.
I don't know if the cover is just hanging. It scares me.
Well, I'm really I like the way that's graded books display on the walls, especially with those comic holder. What are they called?
Comic mount. That's what
I just a book like that. I'm so afraid of just the sun, the light, the world, thieves. I mean, yeah. I told you guys I got crazy and did insurance finally because I just got so fucking paranoid.
Let's talk about that a little bit. What was that like, and what did you go through to do that? And give us an idea, a quick rundown if you can.
So, honestly, the thing, I mean, I've been thinking about it for probably 5 years, on and off. I should get insurance. I should get insurance. I should get insurance. I should get insurance. And I mistakenly left a book out one day when the cleaning lady came. That one that I had priced for a show one time, and it was like too big a number. And I'm like, oh fuck, that's dumb. Why did I do that? Why did I not put that away? Because, I don't talk about it. The kids know about it, but I tell them not to talk about it. And I just, in my head, just went spinning. I got crazy, and I'm like, I need to insure this stuff. And so, my wife talked me into calm, and she's like, we should talk to the home insurance. And I'd read enough forums to say that the home insurance places, they want you to appraise basically everything. And if you don't get just the right plan and all the right things, then they are going to just pay you what they value a comic book at. So I've heard a lot of people not do well. So I went with CIS, which is I don't know if they're affiliated with Comic Link and Metropolis or one of those, but they advertise a lot there, Collectibles Insurance. And it was surprisingly easy. I picked a number of my value. You're basically doing a balloon plan. And unless you have specific issues or sets, they said sets or issues over 25K. I don't know if the set is maybe more for, because, card collectors or somebody that has other collectibles, because it's not just comics that has a grouping of something that together is worth this. I don't know if you said you had a run of something, maybe you could call it a set, but I didn't deem anything like mine fit that realm. You don't have to get an individual appraisal. You're just putting a balloon plan upon it. And so I picked my number that I felt comfortable with. I didn't get it all appraised. I mean, we all keep our spreadsheets, our little running tallies. I put I did my graded book. I'm probably a little under still, but I felt good about it. It was probably 10 minutes worth of questions online about where do you store it? Do you have an alarm? Do you have a safe? Do you have, are you on a floodplain? Do you keep it in the basement? Basic general questions, as well as what type of collectibles are there? They don't like gold and metals for some reason. So just be aware if you're insuring a group of things, they may seem to adjust the rate if you have precious metals. And then I submitted all my questions. I actually did a couple. You can do a couple of, you do a quick estimate with less questions. So I did that first. and I toyed with it a few different ways of how I answered the questions, just for my own knowledge, if it was better to buy a safe or not. Like, if you buy a safe, what's the discount? What's the rate? What's what's it change? Is $400 for a safe make more sense than paying more per year?
Right.
So they gave you some quick estimates, and then I submitted, and actually the quote I got and the actual submission, which took less than 12 hours for them to send me an email with, here's your policy offer, here's your payment options. It was lower. My quote was higher than my actual plan.
Huh.
So I'm not sure why. I'm sure factoring in where you live and what city you're in, and if you're Doc Joe and going to get hit by a tornado, probably does factor in.
So what is it running you about a month? Is it monthly or do you pay yearly? How's that work?
I think you could do quarterly or yearly. It was a little over 0.5% annually.
Of the value?
Yes.
Yeah,
now, I don't know what happens if you get a smaller value. I'm sure it goes up just because if you're insuring 5 or 10,000, which almost in my mind is not worth it, versus a bigger number, there's more administrative fees. Mine worked out to just a tad over 0.5% annually, which in my mind is not bad.
Yeah, I mean, considering what you have,
and you get discounts for security systems. They ask how many types of security you have. A safe is one. The question was, do you have a safe that weighs 300 pounds empty? That's a discount if X amount of your collection's in there. Do you have an alarm system? That is a discount. I think up to 2 things they give you a discount. Storing them in your basement is probably bad. I don't do that for. Obviously, I'm in a basement. This is my stuff that if it gets flooded, I don't care. But none of my real collections in the basement. But there's just questions they ask that I am sure Ben knows all about it from his life in the insurance world.
Yeah, I'm glad that you got it. I mean, I never knew how much it cost.
I didn't feel it was an unfair number when all was said and done. This is one of the things in the plan, though. If it's theft, they pay 60% was the cap. Which in my mind, I'm like, okay, it sucks. But honestly, if I was going to sell it, I'm going to lose 30% in taxes and 10% in eBay fees. So I rationalize that's okay. If it's destroyed in fire, disaster, then it's full payout.
That's good, though.
So insurance is insurance. You've got rules. You just deal with it.
Yeah. So, and I'll just kind of throw this in there for those who don't have specific insurance for your collectibles, which I don't either. I don't have near the books that Z has, but if something did happen, you would get paid for them, but you would basically get paid for them based on no matter what book it is. It would be like if it was just a comic book. So they might, if you have, 1,000 comic books, they might say we're going to pay you 50 cents a comic book because that's what a used comic book goes for. So we will give you 50 cents for every comic book that you had, regardless of what collectible value. They'll basically just give you, and they do the same thing with art. They do the same thing with antiques. Doesn't really matter what it is. If you're
counting on your homeowners or renters, you're not.
Yeah. So if you got an antique table that's worth $10,000 and it gets burned up in a fire, they're gonna say, oh, that's a 3 foot by 6 foot table that costs $380. We will give you $380 for that $10,000 table. So.
Can you dual claim? So if something happened to my collection, I had insurance like Z, could I claim it on my renters or homeowners and this extra insurance?
They will ask if you claim it under your homeowner. They're going to ask you if you have other insurance,
and then
they will be primary. And I'm sure that the collectibles policy would be primary for the collectible.
Yeah, and you can get a right now. You can go through your homeowner's insurance, your State Farms, your whoever it is, and get a separate rider for your collectibles. But everything I've read and kind of researched is you have to have an appraisal for everything, and you've got to notify them very rapidly on everything. I chose to go through a collectibles place. There's other collectibles insurance companies. I just chose the one I'd seen a lot. I'd seen enough people on forums and stuff say they've used. There was the guy that pretty famously on IG and stuff had a couple of nice books from his collection stole, and he kind of praised CIS. So I kind of thought, okay, it's good. Just because he said it was easy. They weren't, making his life miserable for their payments and stuff. But their requirements, yes, they do have them. They ask how do you track your collection? And my response was simply, I keep a list and values and photos. I kind of fudged that and took all the photos when I got the claim, but I did do a set of photos of all my CGC books because in my head that's the 90%. Yes, I should probably do a better job of getting a few of the others, but if something went wrong, what would I be pissed about? I went with that. And if I continue to do this, then maybe I'll get a little more exact and a little more refined. But they did have a clause in there that it'll grow 1% a year based on just you collecting without you doing anything. If I need to raise the value, I can do that. If I were to purchase an additional security system, they said you can apply and change your rates. They felt like it was pretty easy as far as what you needed to accommodate for, and you only had to appraise items over 25K because that's what they do. They do collectibles. Mm-hmm. So if you say you have this much and you've got an inventory and proof that you had it, I'm sure you want receipts and you want all your purchase data. They feel like they're pretty reasonable to do. So.
Cool.
Joshua Vincent having such big boy books at home. At home. Well, I mean, you want to insure them, honestly, in a bank. You might want to insure them too, because the safety deposit box has the same thing. There's people that insure their collections and they got it all over the place. So I don't think insurance is just in the home. So,
yeah. Well, I'm glad that you made the jump, and something that a lot of us need to look into. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And yes, I don't feel unsafe in my neighborhood, and I don't feel unsafe in my security measures. I'm just, it is what it is. If you have it in a safety deposit box, you probably still want insurance at some point of big boy books.
Another thing that kind of happened this week that we want to talk about is the Monstress news. And a lot of us have talked about Monstress in the past and what a great series it is. And there's a lot of people in CBSI that I can think of that have been touting this book for a while. And the news came out that HBO is going to be doing something with it. I don't know if it sounds like it's going to be a show. Is that correct, guys?
Yes, yeah, HBO Max, which is going to be the new streaming platform.
It's crazy how these books are coming back full circle.
Okay, so and this may be my negativity that I'm feeling tonight, but
night blues.
yeah, I'm still mad about my truck. So okay, so I get that it's streaming service and I get that it's HBO, but are they going to have are they going to be able to supply a book like Monstress a big enough budget to do it justice? Because, I mean, you think about Game of Thrones. The only reason Game of Thrones succeeded was because it had a massive budget to make it look good. Monstress is going to have a big budget. And I can't. And I just don't know if a streaming service that's brand new. I mean, yeah, Netflix is throwing money all over the place, but they are so far in debt. I don't know how they're doing. I mean, they just gave Eddie Murphy what $90 million to do stand up or something like that. So I'm trying to figure out how HBO is going to say, oh yeah, we're going to throw a ton of money at this show for a streaming service that has a few years backing of comic book fans. I don't see it.
I think they're trying to phase it in. So they had Game of Thrones. Now they're doing the other Game of Thrones show, right? Is that going to be streaming or on TV?
I think that's going to be on TV.
So then they're also going to have Watchmen, and that's going to be on TV, right?
Watchmen soon,
soon. So I think they're good building, and then they're going to say, "Here's our other comic show that you might like, but it's on our streaming service." I think they're trying to steer people. That's my guess.
And I don't think we've seen a lot of detail on HBO Max whether the streaming content and TV content are going to be unique.
That's true. Yeah, maybe it'll be both. You can watch it on Sunday or whatever night, or here it is on streaming whenever you want.
I'm really surprised that Monstress got picked before Saga. That blows me away because they're both going to take the same amount of money to do the, special effects and everything that people were complaining about. That's why Saga will never get made and this and that. But Monstress is the same deal.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm picturing Sci-Fi Network big alligators.
Well, so that,
you know what I mean?
And I'm in the minority. I mean, I think Saga is great for comics, but I can't see that TV-headed people on TV is going to work, or creatures with half a body floating around. I just have a hard time believing that's going to work on ever going to work on TV.
I like Saga as a book. TV is a whole nother thing. I don't know it, and they've just said they want to finish the series before they want to take it anywhere anyway.
Is that going to ever come back? Because it's been it's been a year and a half now.
It was supposed to be a 1 to 2 year hiatus while they did other projects. So
it's
been a while.
I don't even remember the premise of that book. I never read it, to be honest with you. Is it? I don't know. What the heck's the premise?
Fantasy soap opera crazy.
Yes.
Wait. Romeo and Juliet, man.
You talking about Monstress?
I'm sorry. I'm talking about Monstress. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading like the first 4. I don't know. Ask Coy. He's the biggest Monstress.
I think Brian Wood.
Well, Coy had a cha-ching day. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw a second print 9.8 just sold today for like $350, something like that.
Wasn't there a third print on that guy too?
Yeah.
There was a third, but the third is the same cover as the second, just a different color. So the second print's has the one that's got the totally different.
By the time third hit, it was kind of a big deal. So I think it was probably a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Los S asked, whatever happened to the Niobe HBO rumor? That's still going as far as I've heard. I haven't heard anything's changed with it.
Yeah, me neither.
Agreed. It seems to be just in development. So, we all know that development on some things takes ages.
Yeah, it's sad how that works too, because some companies will buy up properties and put them in development hell just so another group can't buy that property.
Isn't it? Is it Ben Affleck or someone else or Leonardo DiCaprio who has the rights to Witches?
No, that's Brad Pitt.
Legendary, right? That's Brad Pitt.
One of those guys.
I can't believe that has not been made yet.
Yeah, that's an easy one to make.
I can't believe it hasn't come back. Other than the rotten egg, whatever they had like a year ago. I mean, I can't believe that Snyder and Jock have not started up a volume 2 or something of that.
Kent says the technology needs to catch up for Saga, become a series on TV. I'm carefully watching, I've said it before, Dune, to see if they really do Dune justice now. If they can do that, then that gives me a little more hope in Saga.
For Saga, for me, I'm picturing Aquaman, where it was just overdone CGI, where it was hard to capture you. If that
did you not like Aquaman?
His wife did.
Yeah.
Really?
Everybody's wife did.
I loved Aquaman.
What's wrong with you, man?
It's fine.
That's a long question.
It was hard. It was hard for me to get into. I had a few drinks. We just put it on out of the blue, and I just kind of looked at my wife, and we're just kind of on the same wavelength of we're gonna try and finish this later. I don't know. It was hard to get into.
Josh, that's Dune with an N as in Nancy.
Yeah.
Which
yeah,
that's been in kind of development hell at some point or another for the last 30 years. It seems like every couple of years we hear somebody trying to take that.
Where's it at now? I don't even remember where I heard it, but I know it's back somewhere hard.
They were supposed to do something on. Weren't they supposed to do something on Sci-Fi or something like that?
I think there's a bigger network. Might be Prime. It was one of the better ones. I don't think it was Netflix. It might have been Prime.
There's our Super Saga fan, Comic Man Andy, chiming in with, I don't think Saga will ever make it to screen, but that's kind of the beauty of the story. It's that special, and that's kind of cool. I think that's cool when a story's that good that maybe it shouldn't be messed up. I feel that way with Sandman sometimes, but I really want to see that on the big screen.
That's the thing. I was about to say Sandman, and I'm like, well, but now it's coming. So
it's coming, but it's how many starts and fails has that had?
Yeah,
Couple.
I don't know. Is it really ever gotten to this point?
The whole what's his name? Guy that played Robin in the Bane Batman.
Yeah, what's his name? Gosh, yeah, he had the rights for a bit.
Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt had he was doing something with it for a while, but that fell apart.
Yeah, so it's one of those. We'll see when we see.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have that amount of money that you could buy a franchise or a piece of something you love and make it and see it through.
I think that's the hard part, is seeing it through, man.
Oh, Kent is right. It's an Avatar level thing for Saga.
Unless you're Todd McFarlane. Sorry.
Oh, jeez. Don't beat in the Todd father.
Sorry, Todd.
I'm sure Todd's watching.
Oh, you never know.
Hey, he's one of our fans. Who knew?
Years from now. But I want to do a quick shout out for our other show we do on Friday nights for our Hot 10 show. We don't push that out in podcast form, but you can like and subscribe to Tales from the Flipside and pull us up on iTunes and many other platforms, so you don't have to. We love it if you tune in live because you see our pickups and things live. But if you want to save us for a drive to work, you're more than welcome to. But our Hot 10 show is exclusive for Friday nights. We go live about 11:30 and recap our weekly Hot 10, written by our very own Ben S.
Yes, sir.
Hey, yeah, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. We're really we're going to try and start pushing to get more subscribers. And if we can get to a certain number of subscribers, I mean, we could very well start giving away some great books. I've got tons of books that I'm definitely willing to give away. But we need to. So if you can share this with your friends or anything like that, just pop up our subscribers. We'll get some stuff back to you guys.
I think one of the big things is, and maybe it's because of our page settings, but on Facebook, there's no share the video option. And we might have to look into that, but maybe because it's a private page.
It is the private page. So share the YouTube link.
Yeah. So that's what I was just going to say. Yeah. Share the YouTube link, subscribe there. If you're, listening here on Facebook and want to share it to your friends, definitely, copy and paste that YouTube link and make a post. And we appreciate the love and support. Sounds like just the way our page is set up that is not an option, unfortunately, at this point.
And we do have some really exciting things, like Ben was saying, that are coming up and that we're being talked about. One of them that we're going to try and do more of, if we can get to that subscriber markup a little bit higher. It'd make it a little bit easier. We're going to start doing some trading card live box breaks. We've done that a couple of times on the show. We're going to start trying to do it more, and with some exciting product out there. And we'd love to have you guys be part of it. So definitely check it out and subscribe.
Absolutely.
So another crazy thing that we noticed is the Disney 3-hour trailer. Did you guys hear about this?
I didn't hear about that until you talked about it. That's crazy.
What?
Yeah, they put out a 3-hour long trailer for their Disney Plus service. Basically, kind of shining a light on every little thing that Disney is doing, and for the Disney Plus stuff. And they said there was some new stuff that they showed towards the end. They showed some new Mandalorian scenes and some of the live Lady and the Tramp stuff. But the big news for us comic fans that was in there is they are going to be releasing X-Men the Animated Series.
Oh my God, I've been waiting to show my children this.
And Gargoyles. So you guys, we're going to be able to see two of the best animated series that when we were growing up, or for me, and I think I was in high school at the time they came out. They were still amazing even at that point. I mean,
I don't think X-Men's been streaming anywhere.
No.
So you're talking about the original Gargoyles?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not doing. I thought they were doing a new series. So it's the original X-Men '90s cartoon and the Gargoyles cartoon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that Gargoyles was such a good cartoon back in the day.
Well, I mean, the X-Men's kind of what got all of us on the X-Men. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
3:30 p.m. I think they stream. They would put that on TV stream. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I look for X-Men at least 6 years ago, and I've never seen it anywhere streaming. It's just been kind of in.
I almost bought the bootleg DVDs off eBay back when.
I've thought about it as well.
Yeah. So I wonder if Disney will
release. I don't know. Josh Vincent said he thought they were on Netflix. I've never seen them on there.
I don't think so either. I wonder if they'll release like DVD sets or something of those.
There may have been DVDs, but
I mean, now, like I wonder if they'll re-release.
Yeah, X-Men was. I mean, that's just it's its own thing. So,
how closely did that follow the comics?
It did pretty close on a lot of stuff. I mean, they had to do some different stuff. That's where they really.
You're completely dark now. What happened?
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
You killed the fan.
Now.
Am I here now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your screen went dark, man.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. So another thing what we were talking about?
3 hour.
X-Men.
We were talking X-Men. We were talking.
You asked the question right before it went dark. Oh, I can't remember what it was. Anyway,
how did it follow?
Disney Plus is coming in 28 days and 8 hours. So
how close the X-Men '90s cartoon followed the comics?
Oh, pretty damn close. And I think the only thing that was kind of weird on it was the whole Toad. They brought in Toad as a different character than we saw him in the comics. He was in early X-Men comics, but he wasn't the character in the comics that we saw in the animated series until later on. They kind of brought that character over from the animated series into the Marvel universe.
I'm going to be having a serious comic discussion one day, and I'm going to quote what happened in an animated cartoon as being what happened in the comics.
People do that. I do that all the time with Batman the animated series, man.
Well,
I can't believe that
that was our stuff.
I can't believe that you wouldn't be able to do that with Turtles.
Yeah. My mind's slipping.
Yeah. I was. Did you guys? I posted that Turtles video. You saw that, right, Paul?
Yeah, that cave, that toy cave. That guy.
So there's this guy on YouTube that lives in Europe, and he goes around and finds people with these crazy toy and video game collections, and he, takes a camera into their home or wherever they have all their stuff displayed and shows it. And he shows this amazing Ninja Turtles collection that I just couldn't believe some of the stuff. Did you see the undercover set that he had, Paul? Did you watch?
I got about halfway through it, and then I got distracted with the kids.
It was crazy. I mean, he had basically every hard to find turtle stuff, including the stuff that is still hard to find, but not as hard as the other. Like he had the news van unopened, unopened in the box. It was crazy.
Yeah, and kudos to people overseas too, because getting a collection like that overseas with stuff that was only released in the States at the time for the earlier stuff.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, the power of eBay, but even then, shipping and price and all that. So he's either not married or has a really good job, or
well, just while we're talking, I'll show you guys, let you guys kind of see. This is what let's see here. This is the video, and you guys just can kind of see his craziness. But he's got almost every Turtles thing that was ever made, on top of Power Rangers, Star Wars, Ghostbusters, and like Paul said, to be in Europe and to find all that stuff is pretty crazy. But one of the craziest things that he said during this video was the fact that in certain countries they couldn't use the word ninja, so they had to call them Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yeah, yeah. There's one of the intros says that in the actual cartoon intro.
Wow. Yeah. Why would you not be able to use the word ninja? That's just. Anyways, another one of the things that he talked about that I didn't know, it's on the screen right now, is some of the samurai turtles where they had the silver chrome gear on. Some of them were gold. They had like variants back in the day before anybody thought about variants. Turtles were doing it.
I thought you were going to say like toxic paint, and I was getting really excited. I could finally explain why I am the way I am, but
but yeah, it's just pretty cool to see other people's collections, and this guy does a good job. His name is, let's see here. He goes by Ed's Retro Geek Out on YouTube. And he just does really cool toy room stuff, and you can see what other people are collecting out there, and kind of makes you wonder. A lot of these people just either have to be super, super rich, or just this is all they care about.
Who grades toys?
Yeah, those aren't graded though; those are just protected.
No, I know, but I mean, who does?
We looked at that, man.
AFA, Action Figure Authority. Yeah. And they're the same group that grade video games too, right?
Well, video games, has the WADA now too, but yes.
I can't believe there's a 3-hour trailer. Like, that's just insane.
Yeah,
There's a lot of content going, man. There is a ton of content on that Disney Plus.
I asked McClay before the show, like, did they just put together every trailer for like every movie and TV show? I mean, Disney wouldn't slap something together, but that's wow. That's
well, Disney has the vault, man. There's shit that don't come out of that vault. Now it's all coming out of the vault.
True. Yeah.
It's cool. It's gonna be. I know some of us did. Were any of you guys the ones that bought the deal where it was like you had to buy a 3-year subscription or something like that?
I didn't purchase anything for it. I'm sure.
I think it was Woods did it for it's like $5 a month or something crazy.
Yeah, and that's pretty amazing for $5 a month and 3 years of it, and for everything that's going to be on there.
Well, I pay $4 a month for the DCU, which has not nearly the content.
How'd you get it for $4 a month? You did the yearly?
Yeah, I did a year. They were running a promotion early on.
Okay.
It worked out to pretty. It's like $50 for the year or something crazy.
Yeah, Robert Forden is saying 3 years for $140 of the Disney Plus.
I just couldn't. In my head, 3 years is a pretty long commitment to any streaming service. I mean, the only streaming service I have that long relationship to is Netflix and Prime comes with shipping, so you just don't count that. And there's times I think about Netflix just giving it up too.
Yeah.
So 3 years is a long commitment for all this stuff coming our way.
Yeah.
But for the 140, that's not a bad price. I mean, that's what.
No,
40...
you'd spend a month of that on cable in the olden days, so it's fine. I don't know. I just thought with everything coming, I didn't want to jump on that.
Yeah, that's another weird thing is that a lot of these streaming services are just going to be what's replacing cable, right?
We don't know what the world's going to look like in 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, Apple, HBO Max, Netflix is doing its thing. Prime can change. What's the other one coming?
The Warner Brothers one?
Warner Brothers, Disney. There's just a lot down the pipeline. We don't know what the world's going to look like soon.
You know, what's interesting is I think if you subscribe to everything that you just mentioned, you'd probably be paying more than cable.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, and I think that's the thing is you almost got to play the game of I want this for the month, I want this for this, I want this for that, and you just kind of move and go.
Josh Vincent asked, has that deal passed? Does anybody know if that deal is still available?
I thought I heard for Disney Plus. I thought I heard it was at a finite date that has already passed, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, and both Robert Fordham and Kent said that $140 for a 3-year babysitter is pretty damn good, and this deal is, Robert Fordham also said that this deal for kids is a great deal. If you have kids, the amount of content that's going to be there for them is going to be crazy.
I think it's good too. Like Z said, he was excited to show his kids the X-Men series. Like, I think that's what, it's not just, it could be a babysitter, but it's also, you can use it to bring your kids in on why you're into what you're into, which is cool. I think I mentioned it a while ago, but I think that's, or a couple shows ago rather, but I think that's why Sports Cards is making such a big comeback, is now we have all these dads who either sold their collection and just want to get back into it and relive their glory days, or have their collection. They're like, hey, son, daughter, whoever, take a look at this, and this is why it's cool, and let's sit down on Saturday, Sunday and watch the game and kind of turn it into some family time.
Well, it was just going to say, in the fact that you can get, a rookie card that's numbered out of 12, and you can basically just brag about it. It's pretty much what a lot of it is.
I mean, I told you I've bought about $500 worth of cards and boxes in the last few months and got diddly squat. But my kids are like, well, you got a piece of a jersey? They don't care who the player is. They want it, and they're putting it up in their their little collectibles display shelves or whatever it is. And the other one's like, you got a Steeler? Yeah. They're excited about that stuff. And it's
that's very cool, man. Yeah, get them into the hobby.
I got some jerseys, but they're all worthless. So enjoy, guys.
Are those Brian? Are those boxes with the Zion card in it still at Walmart? I never went out and got those a few weeks ago.
Yeah, they are the contenders, but that Zion card went crazy just because of some of those were first to the market, if I remember correctly. And
I mean, for a whole,
the chance that you're going to pull a Zion isn't that great, but I think it was Keith from the Collectibles that talks about he went and picked up a bunch of those and left them unopened. Yeah, just there might be a chance that the Zion is in there, and people are buying. Like if you think about like the old the Topps Chrome from when LeBron was a rookie, those boxes are going for ridiculous amounts. So it's still a gamble, just like anything else. So I actually went into Walmart the other day and scoped some of the cards, and there's just nothing there that's really worth. I'm waiting now. Now I'm waiting for hockey cards to come out. They usually start trickling out here December-ish. So that'll be the next thing that I'm chasing. I'll probably buy a case of Upper Deck hockey or something and open that. But other than that, I'll be sticking pretty slim to PC card stuff.
I keep swearing I'm done with freaking cards, and then I wander through and buy some. I bought one of those was it the Clearly,
Oh yeah.
Was it Tops Clearly?
Yes, the acetate ones.
Yeah, I just bought a box because I was in there picking up. I had done a box break and got jack and shit again, but I went to pick it up and I saw those Tops Clearly. I'm like, they were first day out, and I'm like, well, I'll take one of those too. $55, and I get to my car and I realize there's only one fucking card in it. I didn't even know what they were, and I was like, God damn!
Who'd you get though?
No one.
Well, you
Well-
might think it's a no one.
Yeah, who is it? I mean, is it if it's a red, I'll buy it off of you.
No, it's a Cardinal.
Oh, I don't want that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I kind of did a little tracking. It's fine. Just it is what it is. It was a 1 of 75, but I'm just not the best player. I mean that video you sent me, there were some serious freaking cards coming out of it.
Oh yeah, that Jabs family, their break, man. Just the preview break that they had. I mean, the one guy he had 3 boxes in a row, and got the regular and the parallel. Who was it? It was
Soto?
no. It was dude from the Mets.
Alfonso? Syndergaard?
Yeah, no, Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso?
Yeah, and then
Then you got
and
the
then-
Ryan.
yeah, and then his third was a 52 Tops Ryan, numbered out of 25.
Yeah, those.
It was insane.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I got crap compared to that.
Well, I think probably everybody would get crap compared to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I drive by the place on my way to work, and one of these days I'm gonna have some money in my pocket. I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, I think on those, because it's only 1 card per box, I think I mean, other than just getting a box or a case break and just taking your chance on that, but you're probably better off to just buy or go in with somebody and just split a case or something like that, rather than just buying individual boxes, only because, and I don't want to say that your shop does this or other shops, but I know I have seen and it may have been way in the past, I don't know if this is still the case, but people would bust the first half of a case and pull the best cards and then sell the rest off, and they're like, oh, well, I've already got like a bunch of really good cards. The rest of these are probably not going to be near as good, and I'll make.
Oh, how do they tell?
That's why I bought the case of Bowman, and I decided to keep them.
Yeah, you don't know for sure. I mean, there's really no way you can tell. And if it's a reputable dealer, I mean, it's probably fine. But if you're buying a box, a case or something, and there's a like you buy a box of Immaculate Collection or something like that from this year, and the first box, and they pull a Zion out of the first box, they'll just sell the rest. They'll sell the rest of the case. They'll be like, screw that, I got the best card. There's not going to be another Zion in the rest of these, and I'll make all my money back and basically have the Zion for free. So
you sell them as closed on open packs?
Yeah.
They're on open packs, or just the rest of the case.
For example, Paul, like that case I bought has 12 of these boxes in it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And each box has 12 packs in it. And the way that it works is if you buy a case, you're guaranteed a case hit. So I think the case hit in the Bowman is either a 1 of 50 or a superfractor or something like that. So if you pull the case hit, like Ben was talking about, and then just sell the rest, people aren't going to be able to get the case hit.
Yeah, way back in the day, I mean, like when, I remember like when '98 SP Authentic Football came out, and that was like Peyton Manning rookie, Randy Moss rookie, and you usually got 2 rookies per box. So people would just buy individual packs out of that. Well, they would, get lucky or something like that. And, out of the 24 packs in the box, out of the first 6 packs, they would pull both rookies. Well, that pretty much makes the rest of the box worthless, because that's why you're buying it. So Yes, I mean there's a possibility. There could still be something in there, but it's unlikely at that point. So people would kind of take. I saw. I knew people that were less than honest do that, and they would then take the rest of those packs and bust another box, and then put those packs that they knew that nobody was in, and stick them in another box and sell them, and it looked like a full box. And so people would think, oh, this is a fresh box. I've got a chance to pull a rookie, but they kind of just combine the packs between boxes. So it can definitely happen. And I'm not saying that people do that now, but it can. So that's why a lot of people just end up just buying entire cases, just because that way you know what you're getting
Right.
ahead of time. But
Yeah. Like some of the for example, in hockey, one of the cool case hits in Upper Deck Hockey is an acetate version of the Young Gun rookies. They call them ice, basically, and you only get one per case. So if you open that first box acetate, then you know that you could sell the rest on eBay, saying that they have a chance to get the acetate.
Yeah.
Because they still kind of do, but they don't know that you've already pulled the
Right.
case hit out of that case.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but
yeah, people don't generally like to talk about that shady side of that of the card hobby. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, the same thing happens in comics too. I mean, some of these dealers are a little shady, and they'll get their case of comics, and they'll go through and they'll pick out all the best condition ones, and then sell off the rest to everybody else. And it's a little shady sometimes, but
that's in every place in life.
it is. It's
car
sad.
Mechanics and
Yeah.
whatever it is. So, but yeah, thanks for everybody for joining us this week, and make sure you check out the Hot 10 show every Friday nights at 11 p.m. In between 11 and 11:30 is where we usually start. And also check out the Hot and Cold show on Simple Man's Comics, where you usually see one of the Flipside guys will be on there at some point giving comics. I've been on the past couple weeks, so make sure you check out the Hot and Cold list.
Wait, you get invited to other shows?
Paul's got a big show that he's hopefully going to be going on soon. Paul, is that for sure before I spill the beans?
Yes, it's for sure happening, and it is going to be
on the baseball card show.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I've been holding all my knowledge back. Oh gosh, it's about time I can let it all loose. Screw you guys. No, I'm going to be Downright Nerdy Podcast reached out. So Brian Wood mentioned my name, which was kind of cool. So I appreciate that, Wood. So he's going to do a Star Trek series leading up to the new CBS series for Picard.
Oh, nice.
So they're going to kind of recap the Next Generation. And so has a couple shows, and I agreed to a couple dates, none of which are going to interrupt this show by any means. So sorry to our fan base. You're not going to get a reprieve from my presence unless work calls me away. But it should be good. I'm excited.
What's really funny is, I don't know if it's funny or just kind of ironic. You guys have all been on other podcasts. I have never been on another podcast.
Yeah, because you're too busy writing the Hot 10 list.
No, it's weird. UD never asked me. Collectibles never asked me.
It's because you're from Ohio.
Paul's from Ohio. And he shows up all the time. He doesn't even know what he's talking about.
I was really dumb. I'm for Rent, another podcast, but I just did one. So yeah, you're right.
I'll let you guys know when that's coming up or all that good stuff. But it sounds cool. It should be exciting. I don't know if they'll let me on after the first show, but we'll see.
Where is that guy based out of?
I don't know where he's located. YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank
Just
you,
meet me
guys.
up, like,
Yeah.
just come up to me on the
Fantastic.
street. Will you sign this for me? Are you Paul from the Flipside? Yeah.
He does the weekly show too, or the comic book show nightly thing, right?
Yeah, no, he does. So he's cool. On Instagram, he reaches out to us. He sends us a message saying, "Hey, you're in the lineup." So what his channel does, among other things, is he'll recap what shows are going live comic book wise, podcast on YouTube, or shows, or both, and what day and what time. So Flipside has been on there, on his lineup numerous times. So I think that's awesome. It's a great idea. So props
Yes.
to them.
Yep. So check out Paul on there and go
Yeah,
comment in the chat section that Flipside crew sent him, and we'd appreciate it. And like Ben said, share our YouTube link and help us get some subscribers, and we can do some fun things with the show. Hopefully, once we get that subscriber amount count up there, and gives us a little bit of extra options here. So. Check out the Hot and Cold show. Check out the Hot 10 show. And we appreciate you guys joining us every Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on Tales from the Flip Side. We will see you next week.
Thanks,
See you.
guys.